Hello and welcome. Growing up in a family of entrepreneurs in the Philippines, he received an MBA with distinction from Harvard Business School. After business school, he returned to his homeland and co-founded a real estate company and an e-commerce startup. In 2005, he won the first prize in the World Bank International Essay Contest for his work entitled An Educational Social Venture. He's passionate about innovation and emerging markets as much as leadership skills. With me in the studio right now is Oliver Segorvia. A warm welcome to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Manoj. It's great to be here.
Right. Mr. Oliver is one of the author of the book Passion and Purpose, Stories from the Best and Brightest Business Young Leaders. All of these people graduated from Harvard Business School. Very interesting book you have here. So let me start from the beginning. You went to Harvard Business School, right? Why did you choose to go to Harvard and earn an MBA from there?
Well, I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, Manoj.
Right.
And one of the conversations in the dinner table while I was growing up is how business was being more global.
Okay.
And the opportunities now go beyond the Philippines. They go beyond Thailand.
Right.
And I think I see it in my own family because I have a lot of relatives in the US, in Canada.
Right.
A lot have migrated as well to Australia.
Yeah.
So it's a typical Filipino family. There's around 10 million
right,
Filipinos
right,
around the world. So
right.
the same was very true.
Yep.
And I was educated in the Philippines.
Yep.
And I worked in Singapore for a few years. So I thought a logical next step would also be to see how business is being done in the US.
Yeah.
So I decided to apply, and I was fortunate enough to
Right.
be accepted and just took the leap from there.
How old were you then when you accepted?
I was 26.
26 only. So I assume that you accumulated a lot of business skills and experience before you went to Harvard Business School. Tell us about your family business.
Well, our family runs a construction and real estate
Right.
business in Manila.
Yep.
My dad is a civil engineer by training. My mom is an architect.
Okay.
So in a way, it's an interesting dynamic to have because the engineers always want to make them cheap and practical,
Right.
as the architects want to make them beautiful and fancy.
Okay.
So,
Right. Just before we started the interview, Mr. Oliver had just launched his book at Asia Bookshop, Asia Books at Central World, and he got a lot of questions and attention from readers in Bangkok, and you seem to get so much attention as much as interesting questions from your fans here. Tell us about some of the questions you received from the people here attending your launch.
well, we got a lot of interesting questions. I think one good one was if you are working in a big company and you've decided that the corporate life is not for you and you want to start a business, how do you deal with the risk involved? Because obviously if you're on your own, you forego the salary, you forego the security of being in a large company. And the way I answer that is there's different approaches to solve that. Some people decide to work in a smaller startup instead of making their own business. Maybe they'll partner with an established young business. It's maybe 1 or 2 years old. It's not too big that you'll get lost in the bureaucracy, but it's not too small that you're starting from scratch.
Right.
That gives them a sense of how to work in a very startup and entrepreneurial environment without going on full steam 100%.
Yep. Right.
For those people who are more adventurous and more courageous, they parallel process.
Yeah.
Meaning if they're currently in a job, they'll have a side project during the weekend and they'll build their products. They'll try to sell their products and their services on the side. And once they have enough growth, that's when they can justify going into it full time.
Right. Of course, most of the attendees were young people, at the book launch. And in this book, he explores, the role of young business leaders in bringing changes to not just the business world, but the non-profit sector as well. And we're going to ask Mr. Oliver about, the role of young business leaders in today's business world and their contribution to making changes in the business landscape. Maybe you could tell us about maybe what are the most profound qualities that a successful young business leader supposed to have in order to make a success in their career lives.